What's going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today, we're taking a look at a couple of different styles of knives that come in under that $30 price point. While we're getting started, let us know down in the comments what your EDC is today. So I have a nice list of some different stuff for you guys that come in under that $30 price point. I will have everything linked down below in the description in the order that you see them. That way they're nice and easy to find. I want to kick the video off with the Ganzo G768 here. This is one of my favorite folders under the price of 30 bucks. These come in between 25 and 30 depending on which variant you get. This one here comes in right around 28 bucks. You're going to get D2 steel, which Ganzo does a great job on their D2. We have a PVD coating, which is going to hold up and protect that D2 well. We have a cutout, and we have dual thumb studs here for the deployment. We have a crossbar lock for our locking mechanism. We have textured G10 here for our handle material and backspacer. We have steel liners underneath the G10 that's going to house our crossbar lock. We have a reversible lower mounted deep carry clip here that's recessed. The screws are not, but there is plenty of room in there to get that in and out of the pocket. Love that they included left-hand options and they included a filler tab. We have a lanyard hole here and a nice sharpening choil there. This comes in at 8 inches overall, 3.5 inches of blade. One of my favorite sizes and styles and knives when it comes to a budget EDC. Next up, we have one coming from Kesmo, and this is their mini EDC knife. I wouldn't say it's so mini. We have 3 inches of total blade here. We are looking at 8CR 14 MOV for the blade steel. Nothing to go crazy about or write home about, but for $15, I'd say that's not too shabby. We're getting dual thumb studs here and a rear flipper, a nice snappy detent too, especially off the thumb studs. We have textured G10 here, a deep carry clip. It's surface mounted, but the screws are recessed and it works very well. It is going to be reversible. They include a lanyard hole here, great access to the liner. This knife is pretty comfortable. It's pretty grippy. It has a slight recurve here in the blade, but for 15 bucks, you can do a whole lot worse than this at that price point. If you don't have a ton of money or you're looking for just kind of a toolbox type folding knife, this would fit the bill very well. Next up, we have the Sativian ST156, and this is a knife I have beat the hell out of, and I have really enjoyed this knife. It comes in 14C 28N steel. The price tag of this one here is going to be right at $30. We have that modified sheep split blade with a two-tone finish, a satin on the primary and a PVD here on the flat. We have some burlap micarta, and do not let the photo of this knife fool you. It is a monstrous knife. In the photos, it looks pretty small, but when you get this thing in hand, I have an XL hand, XL glove. This thing is monstrous. You have that full choil there, which will allow you to choke up right behind the edge. We have a cutout and a front flipper for deployment. Nice snappy detent as well. The micarta for burlap is very nice stuff. We have a micarta backspacer, steel liners, and a lower mounted steel pocket clip. It's going to be right hand carry only. We have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. And Sativian's made a name for themselves from $20 all the way up to $100 at this point. Now, this one does have an asterisk next to it because it is on sale. It's at $34, but there's a 10% off coupon code, which will take this right down there around $30. There are different variations of this knife, so that is something to keep in mind. Some might be more affordable, some might be a little bit more expensive. We are looking at 7 3/4 inches overall. So this is a great size, 3.3 on the cutting edge. Very, very cool knife for under 30 bucks. Next up, we can't really have a list, and I know somebody would yell if I didn't put this one in there. And no, the Rat 1 and the Rat 2 are both well over $30, so those cannot be on this list. If you want to bring those into the equation. And I'm not saying these are the only knives under $30 or whatever. These are just options that are out there under $30 where I think you can get the most out of your money. And for sure, this is no secret to anyone. The QSP Penguin, these come in right around $30. So there's going to be some right there at 30 and some that are a couple dollars more, but we're going to put it on here anyway. We have a satin D2 blade with a sheep split blade, and they have different variations, different finishes you can get. G10s, micartas, pretty much anything you could think they do the Penguin in, and there's more premium ones. There's XL ones. They have all kinds of different Penguins now, but if you're looking for something budget-ended, this is a great option. This is one of my favorite Penguins here, the red micarta and satin D2 blade. Dual thumb studs, very snappy action, great access to the liner. The micarta is really nice. Open construction with steel liners. And we have a deep carry clip there, ultra deep carry, and it is reversible. And they do include a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. QSP Penguin, fantastic EDC knife. Next up, we are taking a look at a little fixed blade here, and this is coming from Watchman. This is something I picked up a few days ago, probably a week ago or so now, and I have plenty of Watchmans and Brother knives in 14C and in D2. This one here is coming in at $25. I don't know if I said, but it's the 221 satin 14C 28N blade. We have a nice sheep split here. 3-finger knife with contoured micarta. Couple different variations. You have a lanyard hole here. Comes with a nice skinny pancake sheath with great retention. It also comes with the faux tech lock here, which I will be taking off and putting a Alti clip or some sort of clip on this, because this will make an awesome little EDC knife right here at $25 to get 14C contoured micarta, a decent sheath, and, you know, take or leave the tech lock. In my opinion, that's entirely up to you, but I think this is a fine little fixed blade for pocket carry, little bit on the belt, or even a neck carry if you wish. But really big fan of the 221 here. Really liking this one. Probably my favorite so far of the Watchman fixed blades that I've picked up. Next up, this is one of my favorite knives on this list. This is the Free Tiger 2103. And they're a newer company to the knife world, and I have to say I've handled a couple of their knives from their earliest one to their latest one, and this is one of their latest ones. They do have some newer ones that are out now or they're coming out. This one comes in right around $24, and they have several different variations, I think 6 or 8 different ones. They come in D2 steel. We have a nice drop point blade with a flat that rolls into this swedge going all the way to the tip. Decent sharpening choil. We have dual thumb studs for deployment. Nice snappy crossbar lock action. Very good for $24. We have textured G10 here. We have a deep carry clip that is not reversible. That was the one knock on this knife that I had. Open construction with steel liners. There is weight relief in there. But all things considered, this thing coming in at $23.99, getting almost 3.5 inches of blade there. This thing is rock solid for $24. Really reminds me of Ganzo, but even this feels a little bit more refined than some of the Ganzos I've handled. So here we have another one that comes in right at $15. And for $15, you're not going to get a ton for your money. But if that's all you have, there is a couple of options along with that Kesmo. And this one's coming in from Berry Sale. This is pretty much their only folder right now. I think they're working on some other stuff, and they are going to be going through some changes. But we have, for $15, a black wash D2 drop point blade. We have a flat here that rolls into a nice long top swedge, and it dies off right before it gets to the tip there. Nice large choil, finger choil, I should say. Pretty comfortable in hand. I would say depending on the size of your hand, The clip can not bother you at all. If you have a little bit smaller hands, though, I can see that definitely affecting you. But I have a little bit bigger hands, and the clip just kind of falls right here in this open spot. I'm not a big fan of tip down carry, but, for 15 bucks, can't get real, gripey about things. We have textured G10 here, steel liners. We have the tip down right hand carry only pocket clip. Good snappy flipper action and good access to the liner. If you were to ask me which one would I go with, I would probably at 15 or so dollars go with the Kesmo in the 8CR over the Barry Sale in the D2, simply because it has a tip up carry, multiple ways of deployment, and this is a fine size for just a beater knife, and you can get a little bit more fidget on with the Kesmo. But if you want something a little bit larger, you only got 15 bucks or so, the Barry Sale wouldn't be a bad option. Next up, we have one coming in from X-Took, and this is their little mini EDC knife here. Comes in at 26 bucks, and we're looking at a black wash D2 blade, more of a modified sheep split. Call it a drop point if you want. Nice large choil there, and we have a cutout for deployment. D2, black micarta. There's a couple different variations of this knife. We have a deep carry clip that is reversible, and a snappy action on this knife here. Good access to the liner. If you're looking for a smaller knife or a fifth pocket knife that'll still fill out the hand decently, I'd say this is a pretty good option at 26 bucks. XL glove, I can get a full grip on this in the choked up spot, of course. 3-finger grip in the neutral grip here, but I look for X-Took to put out some really nice models here in 2025. And you can't go wrong if you got 25 bucks with a Victorinox, and specifically the Classic SD here. You get your drop point blade, you get a file here and a mini flathead. You have a toothpick and tweezers on the butt end, and we have a nice pair of scissors. And this is something that you can take with you and keep with you pretty much anywhere you would go. You can drop it down in your pocket, put it on your keychain, and you got quite a bit of versatility with this little guy here. Not going to be a cure-all, but definitely something good to have if you have nothing else. Next up, we have one from HX Outdoors, and they are also a newer company, but they are putting out quite the catalog here early on. Now, this one specifically is more money, but they have ones just like this, and they also have some that are going to be a liner lock. I'll link a couple different versions down below in the description, but they have a couple that come in right around $30. You're going to get D2 steel. You're going to get solid construction. This is going to be, depending on which version you get, they have titanium and steel. This one is going to be a button plunge lock, and they have a cutout and rear flipper here. Some of the ones I am referring to only have a cutout. This one has titanium handles and back spacer here, and we also have a titanium clip. But the one I'm referring to is going to be aluminum and or steel, and they come in right around the $30 price point. But I look for them to do some really big things. They got some folders out that look fantastic, and they have some really nice fixed blades that are out as well. Next up, we have another one coming in from Ganzo. Like I said, they have rolled this price point for quite a while, and they deserve a little bit of recognition in this price point. We have the FH31 here, and this has a nice, long, straight sheep split blade. Going to be coming in D2 here yet again. This one's going to be a flipper only for deployment, but you can reverse flick it out with the, right, if you got enough practice, let's just say. Great access to that steel liner. We have textured G10, We have a G10 backspacer with an integrated lanyard hole here. Lower mounted deep carry clip that is reversible, and it is not going to have recessed screws like the previous one, but here again, plenty of room to get this in and out of the pocket. The action is really good considering this is a $25 knife. Comfortable and going to get the job done. Ganzo has been doing a great job for many years. Next up, we have another little fifth pocket knife, but this one might have the best value that we have checked out. This comes in right at 30 bucks. The Trivisa boots here. We're looking at 14C 28N. Nice, beautiful stonewash, drop point, spear point like blade. We have dual thumb studs for deployment, and I know several people who have one of these, picked one of these up, and really enjoy the knife. Going to be more of a 3 to 3.5 finger knife, but if you just need a little something to keep with you, so you have a cutting tool, this would make a great option. Great access, chamfered and jimped on the liner, exactly what I want to see. Nice, skinny, short profile, deep carry clip that's reversible with a lanyard hole. Nice, snappy detent, and very, very good closing action for how light and small that blade is. Definitely one of my favorites that we've went over yet today. $30, the Trivisa boots, 14C, and they do a fantastic job with their 14C. Next up, we have one coming in from Allitins. This is the G20, and these come in right around 20 bucks. This is another high value here. We're looking at a satin drop point blade coming in D2. We have a nice little sharpening choil there. Flipper tab for deployment. There's a lot of knives out there that are like this, and I have a couple of them, but this is the most affordable and most well-built out of the ones that I have. There's a couple that are more expensive that are nice, but this one is pretty solid. There's a ton of different variations you can get. Textured G10, this one's purple. Steel liners and a liner lock there. A nice minimal deep carry clip. We have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. Going to be right hand carry only. Snappy, snappy flipper action. Very neutral handle. I can get a squeezed 4-finger grip on this thing. At 20 bucks, the Altons G40 is a solid option. Next up, we have the Ned Foss Dolphin, and these come in right around 30 bucks. You're going to get a solid build from Ned Foss. They come in D2 steel. We have a long PVD coated drop point blade. Nice thick spine here. We have dual thumb studs and a rear flipper for deployment, and a nice snappy detent. Very, very good from Ned Foss. We have this G10 handle with a laminated carbon fiber onlay. Looks good, and for 30 bucks, I won't complain. We have steel liners here, couple of standoffs, and we have a minimal deep carry clip. It's surface mounted. The screws aren't recessed. I wouldn't say plenty of room in there. If you have thicker seam pants, that is definitely going to be an issue, but this is a standard top and bottom 2-hole pattern, and there are a ton of clips that would fit this here. So you could mess around with that if that was something that was an issue. Great access to the liner with a chamfer on this thing. Ceramic ball bearings there around the pivot. This is a really good size, 3.5 inches of D2. Really, really like this knife, especially at 30 bucks, the Ned Foss Dolphin. And another high value one, at least in my opinion, is the CJRB Acacia here. These come in right at 30 bucks. Stonewash drop point blade. You have that large half moon cutout there. They're RPM 9. It's like 9CR, but going to be tougher than that. We have a nice large choil area. We have textured FRN that's finished very, very nicely. This is a little bit more refined even for everything else that's on that 30 or in or around that $30 price point. We have a deep carry clip here, and it is going to be reversible and beautiful crossbar lock action. They have several different variations of this knife here as well. The CJRB Acacia, definitely a big fan of this knife. So right now, this one has an asterisk next to it. This is the Fintizo Apollo. But I wanted to get this one on your radar. Right now, it's on a huge sale. These come in at $36 right now. And they have G10, they have aluminum. This is contoured aluminum with a heavy chamfer all the way around. Very comfortable in the hand. Right hand carry only pocket clip. It is surface mounted. Great access to the liner with a chamfer. We have a flipper, cutout, and fuller for deployment. A nice 14C28N drop point blade. It's got a coating on it, PVD coating, and for 36 bucks, this is a fantastic deal. If there's a Fintizo that you really like and it's not on sale, I would wait, because you can often find them on a sale like this, where this knife is, it might not see that price, but these are 70 bucks as far as full retail. You won't typically see them that high. They're usually around the $45 to $50 range, but right now these are coming in at $36. Wanted to put that one on your radar. I know it's a little bit higher than the $30 price point, but we made an extra spot for that one. You guys will have to let me know, what was your favorite knife from today's video? I love hearing from you guys. And if you have some additions you would like to put down in the comments that you really enjoy under $30, maybe we'll include those in the next video just like this. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new to the channel here and you enjoy this type of content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe, because I release daily videos just like this. I'll put a couple of new videos up on your screen that YouTube is recommending. You go check out right now. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.